Hello, class. Welcome to our first soft skills workshop, Understanding KPIs and Metrics. Can you confirm that you can hear me so that you can make progress? So, show by thumbs up if you can hear me. All right. So, today we mean business. By the end of today's lecture or workshop, you should have comprehensive appreciation of KPIs, of metrics, of lag indicators, lead indicators. In fact, you should have build your business acumen. So these workshop series of soft skills are supposed to equip you to be able to have very strong business understanding in the data science or data analytics ecosystem, because when you have the data set, you use your statistics, you use your Python, Excel, Power BI to analyze. You need to communicate this to non-technical people who are the business people, who are the decision makers. And so it's very imperative that you as the analyst speak the language of the decision maker. And of course, before you even start analyzing your data, you must have this comprehensive understanding of the various KPIs and the key metrics, whether it's a lag indicator or a lead indicator of the organization. Okay, so at the end of today's workshop, you should be able to appreciate the significance of KPIs, of course, and then be able to differentiate among KRI, key result indicator, objective um, keys and results, objective keys and results, key performance indicators, lag indicators, lead indicators, and metrics. Then, of course, be able to have an appreciable understanding of the balance score board, and then be able to construct a metric table. Okay, construct metric table for various departments of an organization. Construct a metric table. Okay, of course, so we'll be doing activities or metrics table for the marketing, logistics, HR, sales, finance departments of any sector, telecom, banking, you name it. And then also appreciate the analytics pipeline. You should be able to document analytics projects as well. So at least we should be able to cover from the first bullet to the last but one bullet. Okay. All right. So the question is, what are KPIs? When we say KPIs, what are they? Yes, you're allowed to talk. What are KPIs? Fantastic. So let's look at four types of performance measures. In fact, today we hear of OKRs, but these are the key performance measures in an organization. Four. Okay, four kinds of performance measures. Before I even delve into this, anytime you want to start an analytics project, so this is the pipeline. The first thing you do before you start any analytics project, so they give you data set, analyze it, visualize it, do this report and all of that. The first thing you do is to understand the metrics and the KPIs they need you to report on. So this part of the analytics pipeline or process is called business understanding or data understanding. Of course, data understanding will be under the business understanding. So you have to have very solid understanding of the domain in which the data set they have given you falls in. So you must start with understanding the business, understanding the sector, and then pulling out the set of metrics or KPIs you need to report on. And so understanding how decision makers track and measure the key success metrics, the key success measures of the organization is very, very important. Okay, so let's use this onion analogy to explain the key 4 types of performance measures in an organization. So we see the outer layer of the onion, which is the KRI or KRIs. So the KRIs are the key results indicators. So when you peel the skin of the onion, what you find, so that's easy to remove, first layer and second layer kind of thing on the onion. When you peel the key results indicators, what you're going to find is performance indicators. So on the right hand side, I've put there that the key result indicators tell you how you have done in a perspective or critical success factor. So key result indicators. Then when you come to the result indicators and performance indicators layer, when you peel them off, then you are going to get KPI. So results indicators and then performance indicators. When they are peeled, the inner section of the onion, the one that's you eat, okay, the solid one, you're going to get the key performance indicators. So from your key results indicators, the bigger umbrella, you get to the inner side, which is the result indicators and performance indicators. Then you get to the core, which is the key performance indicators. So we say that the outside skin describes overall condition, okay, overall condition of an onion, and the outside is exposed to a lot of pressure. So key result indicators is the outer part of performance measures, which is exposed to a lot of sun, a lot of water, and of course is the side that receives nutrients, and it determines how it has all the handling, more handling and right handling affect the outer side, affected. So we say that the outside is the key result indicator, is exposed to all the things in the environment. Okay, so all the information are found, or all the measures, performance measures are found within the key results indicators. Okay, so we'll be taking them one after the other. We'll look at the characteristics of each of them. Okay, so the result indicators tell you what you have done. So it's kind of doing descriptive analytics. So historically, what has happened, results. So take note that results only comes in when something has happened. Okay, so you do something now, and then the aftermath is the effect of, or the outcome of what has been done. So result indicators, okay, tell us what has been happening, or what has happened in a particular unit, particular department, in a particular sector or country. Then the performance indicators tell us what to do. What must we do? What must we do? Okay, then the KPIs tell us what to do to increase performance. So the essence of this workshop is to help us really understand what KPIs are, so that when you are given any project and you are tracking, you're going to really help the decision makers to find actionable insight from the data set, so that they can increase performance. So if you are doing a dashboard or a report and you want to communicate actionable insight to decision makers, the people at the strategic level, not the tactic level, there's people at the strategic level in the realm of affairs of an organization, then you need to find insights from the data set that will help them increase performance dramatically, or increase performance dramatically. Okay, so let's take these one after the other. What are key results indicators? These key result indicators are measures. So measures here means that they are quantitative, you assess them, you measure them, they are measurable. So they are measures that can confuse them, okay, or mistake them for key performance indicators. Okay, key performance indicators. Okay, so KRIs include customer satisfaction, net profit before tax, profitability of customers, employee satisfaction, return on capital employed. Take note that the KRIs, by our onion analogy, is the outer part that is exposed to all the pressures and activities from outside. Okay, very, very important characteristic to take note. So let's then delve deep into what are the key characteristics of key result indicators. So KRIs are high level summary metrics. So when you hear of key results indicators, what we are saying is that we are looking at high level summary metrics. What are metrics? Metrics are measures, quantitative measures, which measure the various performances or activities or aspects of a business. Okay, we measure them. So we can see that the key result indicators are also measures. KRIs, they are metrics. So in fact, KRIs, KPIs, all of them are metrics. All are metrics. But out of the metrics, we choose a set. If there are 20, we choose 10, and the 10 becomes our key. The 10 becomes our key metrics, and the key metrics become the key performance indicators, which are the KPIs. So we say key result indicators are high level summary metrics, and by this explanation or metric or characteristic, then what we mean to say is that KRIs are really targeted at the senior management levels. So of course you also appreciate that KPIs are for the senior level management team. Of course, middle level management team will be interested in that because they would pass on that such information to the senior level management. So these KRIs represent the outcomes of many actions and processes. So there are many and not specific. That's why in the onion analogy is the outermost part. So you have to peel and peel and peel to look at the specific ones that organizations want to track, or they are actionable to increase performance dramatically. Okay, so KRIs are the outcomes of many actions and processes of the organization. So let's say you come to IXM Analytics, we are teaching on business statistics, and friend, we are not patient to teach it. And so if you're a customer, if you're a student who have enrolled and you do not understand business statistics, you'll be found wanting, and that will imply that your satisfaction level or your experience with IXM Analytics will be low. So outcome of many activities, or maybe you want to pay your school fees and the processes are not convenient. Okay, now my screen keeps going on and off. Wow. Now KRIs also show whether the organization is moving in the right direction and not how to improve it. So KPIs will show you how to improve performance, what to do to improve performance drastically or dramatically. And it means that from the word go, when you start analyzing data set, you should look for nuggets, insights, actionable insight that will help the organization increase their performance. Okay. The this KRIs are ideal for governance, but not ideal for day-to-day management of the organization. They are ideal for governance, but not day-to-day management of the organization. Okay. Okay. Because these are designed for board level reporting, which I explained. Because first of all, its characteristic is high level summary metrics. Okay, so designed for board level reporting, senior management. Okay, so they are best used by individuals who are not involved in the daily operation. So in the um, organizational management pyramid, the fourth bottommost part is the non-managerial people who are involved in the daily operations of the organization, and then followed by first level managers who are also involved because they have to supervise the factory hands in the organization, the actual hands that are involved in the daily operations of the organization. Then on top of that is the middle level managers. um, and then afterwards we have, so middle level managers are likely not to be involved in daily operations because they are involved in tactical decision making, turning the strategic decisions of senior level managers, the board level managers, into tactics, and then the tactics are implemented by the first line managers who are heads of department, okay, who supervise the people, the grassroots, if there's a word like that from politics in management. Okay, then we move to other characteristics of key results indicators. These are reviewed less frequently. So remember, they are for governance, and so they served at the board level. So they are reviewed either monthly or quarterly. Okay, but KPIs are tracked daily or weekly. Very, very important distinction and characteristic, which is differentiating between key result indicators and key performance indicators. So KRIs are usually reviewed, which means we assess them to see whether we are on track or not, monthly or quarterly. But key performance indicators are tracked daily because we have set goals. We want to improve our performances, we want to achieve our goal. Okay, all right. Okay, so we've talked about governance and management. So key result indicators will be if you're going to have a governance dashboard, because it serves as serves for governance and not daily operations or management of the organization. So it will be on a governance dashboard, how your organization have the rules in place to govern the organization. So we'll look at up to 10 indicators for key results indicators or key results, KRIs. And then when it comes to the key performance indicators, and results indicators, they are in a balance score card, and they are for management. So out of the 4 performance measures, the key result indicators are for governance, and then the key performance indicators, and result indicators. So you see, we have performance indicators. Out of these performance indicators, we have ones that are key. Okay, they are on the balance scorecard for management. And by practice and convention, organizations are not expected to have more than 20 measures or 20 metrics in their KPIs. So from, it could be 7, 9, 10, We skip 13, 14, 19, or 20. Okay. The other key thing you need to note about key result indicators is that they are not actionable on their own. In other words, management cannot take decision um, and act on it to change something. Okay, to change something or to improve their metrics or their performance. So they do not specify what actions to take. They do not specify what actions to take. Okay. Then we move to performance indicators. So performance indicators actually help the teams in the organization to be abreast with the organizational strategy. So the strategy from the board translated into tactics by the middle level managers, and these tactics are segregated into performance indicators so that middle level managers can communicate effectively in terms of where they are, get the information from the first line managers, and then they will pass on to the senior level managers. Okay, so what we're saying here again is that performance indicators are non-financial. They are non-financial measures, and they complement key performance indicators. Okay, they complement key performance indicators. Okay, so we look at certain examples such as percentage increase in sales with top 10% of customers. This is a performance indicator. We want to increase our increase in sales for the top 10 customers. We want to make sure their sales are increased by 10%, 20%, 5%. Okay. Then it also, another example is the number of employee suggestions implemented in last 30 days. These are performance indicators. You're able to look at the strategy of the organization, know what they want to do. Either they want to increase or decrease the suggestions implemented in the last 30 days. And then customer complaints from key customers. This is a performance indicator. If you have been able to address this or you are tracking this, then we say that this is a performance indicator. So in essence, if you're able to track customer complaints, especially from key customers, and address the complaints of such customers, then you know that you are you're achieving your goal, you're achieving your targets, and you are getting your way into making sure that your KPIs are achieved. Okay. Then sales calls organized for the next week or 2 weeks. So all of this, they are non-financial, but they have quantitative. Of course, they are measured, so they have quantitative ways or means of measuring. Late deliveries to key customers. So performance indicators, tracking all of this. What was the percentage of our late deliveries to key customers? All of this has to do with performance indicators. Okay. Then we come to results indicators. So from key, yes sir. Yes, let me confirm. Sometimes a minute, please. Yes, it's recording, please. It's recording. Okay. Then we come to results indicators. So in the onion analogy, we saw that when you peel the key result indicators, then you move to PIs and RIs. So PI, performance indicator, close to the exposure of the overall activities of the organization, or the outcome of all the overall activities from external parties, external parties or stakeholders like customers, government, competitors, and all of that, employees. These are external. Direct pressure is key result indicators. Then when you come inside, you're looking at performance and result. Now, with the results, we are saying that they summarize the activity, and all financial performance measures are result indicators. So the performance indicators are non-financial, however result indicators are financial. Let me make this correction whilst I was typing. It's supposed to be capital I. Okay, so all financial performance measures, metrics, are results indicators. Okay, and anytime you have a data set to analyze, it's very imperative that you are able to understand. Of course, organizations want to, whatever they are doing, it must reflect in monetary outcomes. Okay, and sometimes it is the performance indicators, the things that you do which are non-financial measures, that lead to the financial performance measures or metrics. So you must have solid understanding of how to address the non-financial measures that will lead to improvement in the financial performance of the organization. So if customers have a lot of complaints and they have not been resolved, it's going to affect the financial performance of the organization. Okay, so examples of result indicators are daily or weekly sales analysis. So anytime you're analyzing daily sales or weekly sales, then you are going to provide useful summary about the financial performance, the revenues, how much money has come in, But you should also take note that the weekly sales is as a result of the efforts of the teams, many teams of the organization, the salespersons, the marketing, the production, manufacturing, packaging, distribution. And so if sales went up, in other words, revenue increase, it is as a result of the individual and collective efforts of the teams, diverse and converged teams in the organization. Having a solid understanding by root cause analysis, by diagnostic analysis, to know if it increases, what caused it to increase, if it decreases, what caused it to decrease, is very important to you as an analyst, so that when we move to the KPIs, you can actually provide actionable insight on your findings, make recommendations, actionable recommendations, so that management can actually improve their performance drastically. Okay, so take note of this point I placed here. To fully understand what to increase or decrease, you have to look at the activities, the root cause, the activities that created the sales. So in a sales process, we understand that a lot of things go into it. The teams contribute, natural conditions contribute, competition contribute. You as an analyst must have this holistic understanding, so that you don't sit down in silo and write your recommendations in silo. Have a full understanding of the causative factors when it comes to an increase in sales or decrease in sales in your organization. Do market intelligence, do some kind of competitive or competitor intelligence analysis, do root cause analysis, pair your findings, and look at what are the what, if I use the word indicators, what are the factors behind the scene that is causing the decrease or the increase. Okay, so of course this includes net profits, of course, because these are financial net profits, and then the sales made yesterday or last week. It's a result indicator. Okay, it's a result indicator. Then customer complaints from key customer is also a result indicator, because this one will eventually translate into monetary um, measure. And then hospital bed utilization in a week. So this one is doing weekly or daily. The number of beds that have been used would actually translate into monetary gains for the organization. That is, if it is high, and if it is low, it's going to affect it. So we move to the almighty KPIs. What are KPIs? So KPIs are a set of metrics or a set of measures which focus on the aspect of organizational performance, okay, which are most critical for the current and future success of the organization. And by this definition, you understand why all decision makers are bent on KPIs, because your KPIs determine the fate of survivor, the fate of overcoming the competition, the fate of you growing or expanding, the fate of the organization. So KPIs are the metrics which focus on organizational performance, not team performance, not individual performance, not departmental performance, but the entire organization. But not just that again, but the performance that are critical. So if they fall low of that, it means that they are going to lose out on the competition, and they are going to I nearly said die. They are going to lose out on the competition, and then they are going to lose out. They are not going to be successful. They are going to fail as an organization. And the opposite of incorporation is what? I don't know why that legal term is not coming. Okay, so when it comes, I'll mention it. Okay, winding up. Okay, or liquidation. So winding up is the opposite of incorporation. Okay, so take note that these KPIs, anytime you hear KPIs, they are actually critical and most critical factors, measures, metrics necessary for their current success and future success. Current success and future success. Okay, now let's look at 7 characteristics of key performance indicators. As we have gotten to KPIs in the 4 performance measures, then you would understand that we are in the inner side of the onion. Inner side. So we have peeled and peeled and peeled, and we are within the onion. Okay, so the first characteristic of KPI is that they are, first of all, non-financial measures. So when you say non-financial measures, they are not expressed in any currency. They are not expressed in Ghana cedis, in dollars, in naira, in euros, in pounds. Non-financial measures. Then they are measured frequently. Okay, so by the time we get to the number 7, you understand that some of the things we thought they were KPIs were not actually KPIs. I wish I could show one of the projects we did for Gimpa. I think okay, they gave us a document of the KPIs we're tracking. So in the dashboard, we designed a KPI tracker. Has to do with their lecturers and number of intakes and all of that. And so what we are saying by the first characteristic is that KPIs are non-financial measures. Does not mean that they do not they cannot be expressed in financial values. But when you are looking at KPIs, we are not looking at revenue. Revenue is under key results, is under results indicators. Okay, so they are measured frequently, daily, 24/7, weekly. Okay, measured frequently. Okay, then they are acted on by the CEO and senior management team. So the CEO can call you any day, anytime, and ask you about the performance of a KPI. They ask you directly. So anytime a CEO calls a middle level manager, an operations manager, and asks what is going on, it means that that's what he wants to. That is the key thing he's tracking, and he knows that that thing that he's tracking is going to determine the current success and future success of the organization. Okay, then they clearly indicate what actions is required by staff. Okay, so KPIs will indicate what actions that staff have to do. I think with the key person, one of the things that to do with articles lecturers have published, and then trainings they have attended. Okay, so if it's a KPI, so look at this. So if it is articles published by faculty members as a key performance indicator of a tertiary institution, for that matter government university, then it means that the faculty members who are lecturers know what to do, because this is key to the VC. I think there's they call it president, key to the president or the rector of the institution. So they call theirs rector. So the rector can call you at any point in time and ask you, how many articles have you published this week? Okay. Doc and I we have some micro VC of some tertiary institution who is micromanaging us. So they can call you. I mean, imagine you being a lecturer and a vice president calling you on the phone and asking you what you have done or why didn't you do this. That's how important KPIs are. The overall boss of the organization can daily pick a phone or send broadcast emails to the key persons who are in charge and ask them what is going on, what has been done about this, what is going on, what are you doing, what have you done about it. Because these key measures determine their fate, current fate and future fate. Then the fifth characteristic of KPI is that they are measures that tie responsibility down to a team. So from the fourth, you see clearly that they are measures or things teams have to work on daily, weekly, 24/7, monthly. Okay, then so you can see the example that the CEO can call a team leader, first line manager, who takes to take the necessary action. Then number 6 characteristics of KPI is that they have significant impact. Okay, significant impact. And this significant impact is on the critical success factors, CFS, and the balance scorecard. So BSC is balance scorecard. So critical success factors. Remember, KPIs are most critical factors that determine the current success and future success of the organization. So they have significant impacts on one or more of the critical success factors and more than one balance scorecard perspective. So the balance scorecard, as developed by Kaplan, looks at performance measures, categorize it into 4 parts. One that has to do with employees, one that has to do with process, one that has to do with revenue, one that has to do with customers. And when you look at the onion analogy, you see that at the outer parts, customers will be there because external pressures. So we are saying that although KPIs are not reported in financial terms, they have significant impact on the various critical success factors and the 4 key scorecard or dimensions in an organization that influence their monetary measure or their financial measures. The customers you have will determine your sales level. The employee performance or employee inputs and how they do their work, their competences will affect your financial and all of that. Okay, so although KPIs are not recorded in a financial form, they have significant impact on this aspect. And again, they encourage appropriate action, right action, tried and tested actions that impact or improve performance. Take note that KPIs intention or intent or purpose is to increase performance of the most critical factors of the organization drastically. Okay, so every KPI will have a rule to help the team members embark on that, or an action to embark on in order to improve performance. And mostly these things, they'll have policies on them, policy documents on them to ensure that everybody really understands what to do when it comes to such metrics, because they determine the fate, the success, or otherwise non-success of the organization. Okay, so you can see my speedometer here. Very soon I'll buy a new car. So okay, so sorry. We want to quickly look at the differences between key results indicators and KPIs, and I want to use the car speedometer as an analogy to help explain or differentiate between key result indicators and key performance indicators. So a car speedometer, as you can see on the screen, shows you the speed of the car. Okay, now the speed the car is traveling is a result indicator. So are you traveling 50 miles per hour, or 50 kilometers per hour, or 40 or 30? So the speed the car is traveling at is a result indicator. So that value, 50 kilometers per hour, is it 50? Yeah, 40 or 30 or 50. That's what's, when you are driving in town, that's the most one. But highways, the thing is 80. Now, it is a result indicator because the speed of the car is a combination of the gear you are on, okay, and how many revolutions per minute the engine is turning. So result indicator is the outcome of the gear or many things that are happening. Okay. Then performance indicators will be how economically the car is being driven. So how economically the car is being driven is a performance indicator. Okay. And let me see. An example will be the gauge showing how many miles per gallon. How many miles per gallon? It's a performance indicator. Another performance indicator here in the speedometer analogy is how hot the engine is running. So your temperature gauge, okay, is a performance indicator. Okay, it's a performance indicator. Okay. Now, let's look at, in a tabular form, the various outlined or listed differences between key result indicators and key performance indicators. Okay. So, first, we are saying that key result indicators can be financial and non-financial. So overall is the outer shell. However, KPIs are non-financial measures. In other words, we do not express them in monetary values. So take note that KPIs are different from goals and targets. So KPIs are different from goals or targets. Okay. So some goals are non-financial, so they are different from financial goals or financial targets. Okay. So when it said a financial target, it's an indicator, it's a metric, but it's not a KPI. Okay. Because remember, KPIs are what you do to improve performance, not the results. Not the results. Okay. Second point, measures, KRIs, key result indicators, measures in terms of monthly, in terms of date or interval or time, it's monthly and quarterly. So key result indicators are assessed monthly, they are also assessed quarterly. Okay. Remember, this is, we see when we're talking about the character, you said that they are not assessed frequently. So it's monthly or quarterly, and this is high level summary metrics. But key performance indicators are measured frequently, daily, 24/7, weekly. And we can't overemphasize this enough. This is why the CEOs or your immediate bosses can call on you and to check on how you are doing on a particular measure or an aspect of an organization. That means that it is dear to the heart or is critical to the success, current success and future success of the organization. Again, key result indicators act as a summary of progress, okay, in an organization's critical success factor, CSF. Okay, so with KRS, we use it to report on progress to the board. Remember, it serves as high level summary. It's good for board reporting or boardroom reporting. Okay. However, KPIs are acted on by the CEO and senior management team. So this is for daily management, this is for governance. So by CEO and senior management team, they act on it daily and weekly. Again, key result indicators do not help staff or management because it does not tell what you need to fix. But when it comes to KPIs, all staff understand the measure and what corrective action is required. And I've already emphasized this, that they will have a policy document, an explainer document telling you when this happens, this is what you must do, especially in the banking sector. Because they know that if they don't make it clear as a policy, collective policy, where it's widely communicated, widely understood, in fact, where it has an organization-wide understanding, is going to affect their survival, their success. So with KPIs, every staff member understand the measure and know what to do. It knows what is required of that KPI. And so by the end of this measure, your conflated view of KPIs is being reshaping now, that you know that KPIs are not just metrics or measures they track, but they are actually measures that every employee in the organization, in fact in a correct organization, every employee in the organization knows about it and knows what to do to improve performance about that thing. Okay, and then the last three has to do with key result indicators. We see that typically only one person is responsible for it. So the CEO, because he reports monthly or quarterly to the board. Okay, but the KPIs, it is a team, the units, the department in the organization who are responsible for that. Okay, so we tie it down to an individual, a staff, an employee, a worker, a unit, a department. That is KPI. The CEO, we tie the KRIs to him. Go and report, review it monthly and quarterly, and report to senior management in the boardroom or at the end of the year. KRIs for that. But before he can do this, he has to be working on the KPIs daily and checking up on the teams and the individuals on their performance and what they are doing to improve upon their performance, so he can have something to report to the board. Okay, so KRIs are a summary of the activity within one critical success factor of the organization. Okay, then in terms of KPIs, we've talked about this. They affect more than one of the critical success factors identified by the organization, and more than one balance scorecard perspective. The balance scorecard perspective look at the customer or customers, financial, process, employee. So it means that KPIs can affect both customer and employee. KPIs can affect both employee and process. KPI can affect both the revenue and customer. Okay, or revenue, customer, employee. Okay, then another key thing about key result indicator is that it's a result of many activities which is managed through a variety of performance measures. Remember, key result indicator is the outer shell, outer part of the onion. Okay, but KPIs affect all other performance measures, but in this case in a positive way. Okay, then the last one, we usually report KRIs by a trend graph, looking at 15 months of activity, 12 months of activity. And then the KPIs, we look at the various activities and the people who are managing them, the person responsible, what has happened in the past, and what has been done about them. Okay, all right. Then we move to the Next, key terminologies you need to understand as an analyst as you build your business acumen. And these are what we call lag indicators and lead indicators. Lag and lead. So you see my summary table here, explaining or differentiating what lag indicators are and what lead indicators are. So lag indicators, so lag, you are lagging. Then we use the word behind. Don't lag behind. So lag indicators are measures that focus on the outcome of past actions. Descriptive analytics. What has happened in the past. They are lag indicators. Okay. Whereas lead indicators measures the predictors of future performance. Future performance. So lag is past, what has happened, historical performance of the organization. Lead is looking at what might cause or increase our future performance. Of course, by their definition, in terms of time orientation, we could actually ascertain that lag indicators are backward looking. Okay, they provide hindsight. Hindsight tells us what has happened. Okay, whereas lead indicators are foresight. They tell us what is likely to happen. Predictive analytics. A dashboard that shows the likely events that will happen. Okay, and in this you need to really understand the business statistics module to be able to do predictive analytics. So those of you that have not watched the video, please complete the business statistics video. It's left with probability, regression, correlation, which I'll be done recording and I'll add it to it, so you make yourself abreast with this so that you can measure lag indicators easily and also measure lead indicators easily. Your ability to have a lot of dollars, like $5,000 as your monthly salary, depends on your competencies in providing organizations with hindsight performance and foresight performance. Because everybody can tell us what has happened in the past, like your grandmother, great grandmother did ABC, because we were not there, but we are here with you. Tell me what will happen, let it come to pass. Well, tell me what will happen, comes to pass. Then we see your value, we're able to appreciate your value, and of course increase your salary. Okay, then in terms of actionability, that is sorry, permit me to drink water. In terms of actionability, we're saying that lag indicators cannot be acted upon directly to cause a change in the organizational success factors or critical success factors. So you cannot do anything directly about a lag indicator to improve performance. However, with a lead indicator, you can do something about it to increase your performance or to achieve the right result. So lead indicators are highly actionable. And so let me see if I have this. Okay, I think I've taken that example off. All right, so let me quickly draw an analogy and then use that to explain. So if you analyze a sales data and you found out that sales for the sales for Fridays, okay, sales for Fridays for all branches declined drastically, maybe by comparable relative percentage points. Let's say 15% decrease in sales. This is a lag indicator. It's what has, you have told us what has happened. Okay. But this thing does not tell us what to do to improve performance. But if you go a step further to identify why sales dropped by 15% relatively for all branches on Fridays, the last month or last quarter, and found that one, the weather changed. Maybe the business you are doing, weather is a factor. Two, the government brought Dumsor levy, took away e-levy, which could have served as energy levy and not electronic transaction levy. Brought Dumsor levy. This Dumsor levy is on fuel. By that, it's affecting the amount of money a consumer is likely to spend. I'm looking for disposable income. Yes, I was looking for that word. So this is affecting the disposable income of a consumer. And then you also found that there's this sales, there are new recruits in the organization that have not been trained, and they are the ones who are frontliners. They are front-facing salespersons, and they have not been trained well on the customer experience, customer service, quality customer service, and all of that. Now, out of these findings, the ones that management can act on, they can't change the weather. They can't go and tell His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama and his team, Atoforsen, Honorable Dr. Atoforsen, and Julius Debra, to come and remove the Dumsor levy. No. You cannot change the weather from sunny to cold or cold to weather. You can't do anything about it. But you can train your front-facing salespersons on quality customer service, and by this, when you do that, it will reflect. It means that you are being proactive. Okay, so it's going to reflect on the outcome, your future outcome, your next week sales, your next quarter sales, your next month sales. Okay, now lag indicators again helps us to evaluate results. So remember, it is hindsight. Okay, then we can compare. So when you see actual versus target, or year on year, month on month, then we are looking at lag indicators holistically. You evaluate the results. How does this compare with our previous? Then lead indicators helps influence outcomes by the explanation I gave with the actionable example. Then you know that if it's a lead indicator, then it's going to influence an outcome before they happen. So the next week, the next month, the next quarter, when the customer is trooping, the salespersons will be well equipped with quality customer service behaviors, and that is going to help increase performance. In terms of the cycle in which these metrics or measures are measured, we look at lag indicators. They are done monthly, they are done quarterly, they are done annually. And so in a dashboard, you would be having both lag indicators and also what? Lead indicators. Okay, let me put it this way. In a report, so when I say dashboard, I meant a report. Okay, you have monthly, quarterly, annually. for lag indicators. So the month on month, year on year, quarter on quarter, that's it. Then the lead indicators, remember you want to actually influence what will happen next time. So you don't have to wait for a month, a year, or 2 years. It must be real time. So it is daily, it is weekly, and it's real time. And by this, you know that lead indicators will tie directly to KPIs, because KPIs are 24/7. And it is as a result of knowing what to do to influence future outcomes and current outcomes that you are able to improve performance drastically. But if you do not know what to do and how to influence your outcomes, then performance will not be improved drastically, or will not be improved at all, and by this you will not be achieving your KPIs. Okay. Um, okay, so I've given some examples here. I want to quickly move to the place where you'll be doing the talking and the activities. It's a workshop, so you have to do something. Okay, so examples of lag indicators here: the monthly sales revenue, customer satisfaction score, employee turnover rate. These are metrics, but these metrics are lag metrics, lag indicators. It means that they are telling us, giving us a hindsight performance overview, not a foresight performance overview. Okay. Then the lead indicators examples: number of sales calls. Remember, this is daily, weekly, real time. Response time to enquiries. And take note of these examples, because these examples, as you know, are tied directly to KPIs. Okay, number of sales calls is not monetary, but if you're able to make a lot of sales calls, if you increase your response time to inquiries, you are doing things to increase customer satisfaction level, and by that you increase customer satisfaction score positively, and by that it translates into financial gains for the organization. This is why senior management always track KPIs, because though they are not expressed in financial terms, they are actually precursors to high financial gains, high revenues, decrease in expenses of the organization. Remember, you either increase sales or you decrease expenses. So any presentation, any proposal you're making to senior management, decision makers, investors, you have to express that in either leading to decrease in expenses of the organization or increase in revenue. Everything about senior management is about this, unless they are not for profit. Okay, so I gave some examples here for various department. So in terms of the sales department, a lag indicator, which is an outcome, a lead indicator is a driver, so a predictive factor. So for sales, look at total sales revenue, but the lead indicator will look at number of leads you have contacted. Okay, number of leads you have contacted, and that will know that will affect your future sales, or your daily sales, or your weekly sales, or your next week sales. Then HR will look at annual turnover rates, but the lead indicator looks at employee engagement. So daily, weekly, you should be looking at employee engagement, service scores. Then for marketing, look at return on investment, campaign return on investment. So if you are doing email marketing or email campaigns and all of that, the lag indicator is when we did this, what was the return we had on that campaign. But the lead indicator will look at email open rates. And when you're able to track this and the factors that influence this, then you can act proactively, put things in place to influence or increase the open rates, so that you have higher return on your campaign. Then in terms of customer service, look at the CSAT score, But this one, to influence the future outcome as a driver, we look at average first response time. So the first time the inquiries came was the average time. Then operations look at percentage of orders delivered on time. Okay. Then in terms of lead, inventory stock replenishment rate. So if you don't have enough in stock, enough inventory in stock, it's going to affect the time you took to deliver. But this will not be the only factor or only driver, because the route you take to deliver your items is also part. Okay. Okay. Uh, okay. So I think I want to be done talking quickly. Did I skip this? Okay. 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 So I've explained PIs and RIs. Okay. So I think we can skip this one and move to metrics. Then we'll start with the various departments of an organization and build our metrics table. Okay. Okay. So when we say metrics, we say that the lead indicator, the lag indicators, they are metrics. KPIs are metrics, but out of the metrics that you have, KPIs are selected sets, non-financial, which can be used to increase the performance of an organization. So metrics can be both non-financial and financial. Okay. All right. So we look at the definition. We say that any measurable value, like sales volume, response time, all of these are metrics. Okay. And a metric can either be a lag indicator or a lead indicator. Very important. Okay. Then we look at, okay, so examples of metrics. All the examples that we have given, all of them are metrics. Then look at the KPIs. We've explained that they drive performance. Okay. And their operational focus. Before I did extensive study on this, I always had in mind that KPIs are for board management reporting. Okay. So my mind, me myself, I've had a renewal of mind that KPIs are not for board reporting. KPIs are actually operationally focused. Okay. It's KRI that are for board reporting and governance focus. However, if management is interested in KPIs, it's because they determine the current success and future success of the organization. So they are also interested in that, and they want to see how the metric tied to the strategic goals. So with KPIs, is a set of metrics, but those metrics must be, or they are tied to the strategic goals of the organization enacted by the senior managers. And so they are also interested in that. How do this lead to that? How are your metrics or the sales affecting their strategic goals? Okay. So KPIs can either be a lead, or we say that is typically a lead indicator, because they are proactive. They are things you do or you must know to increase performance. Okay. But then of course they can also be lag, descriptive, what has happened. Okay. All right. So we've talked about KRI, which are result oriented metric, and then performance indicators are important but they are not key. So out of performance indicators, then we have KPIs, key performance indicators. Okay. And these are also lead, or mostly lead indicators. Okay. where is my next activity? 1 2 okay. Okay, so in the next 10 minutes, 1 in the next 10 minutes, I would want you to classify this as a lead indicator or lag indicator. Lead indicator, lag indicator, KPI, KRI. So if you see that one is KPI, you indicate it. So you construct a table: lag, lead, KPI, KRI. Okay, so I'll give you 10. Okay, let me give you 15 minutes for this. All right, I believe the question is clear. Okay, so we mentioned 4 key performance measures from the first slide. Okay, we talked about key result indicators, we talked about results indicators, we talked about performance indicators, and then key performance indicators. Now there's a new, no, it's not new, but I think for the last 4 or 3 years, a lot of management consultants and strategic level managers have been talking about OKRs. What are they? You as an analyst must have appreciable understanding of this terminology. So when you sit among them and they are mentioning OKRs, you have appreciable understanding of what it is and how to tie into your reporting. So OKR is a goal setting framework. So you are setting a goal, a SMART goal: specific, measurable, achievable, time bound goal. So this is the framework that is used to set SMART goals, and these SMART goals define clear objectives and the measurable key results. Remember, the key results is one of the performance measures, but the OKRs is a framework, sets the KI, the KR, which is the key result, and of course this key result is measurable. So set the goal and the key results. Okay. So of course sets outlines the specific outcomes that are required for it. The purpose of it is to align team members and employees in an organization so that it can foster focus and engagement. They know what to do to achieve a particular result or outcome. Okay, so the scope of OKR is strategic. So OKR is for the senior level people. It's strategic. That is the scope, strategic. And its purpose is to ensure that down the management level, the team members and individuals understand the organizational goal coming from the top, so that they can work collectively to achieve the goal. Okay, so an example is here. If for instance the senior management level can set a goal like they want to improve customer satisfaction, increase their CSAT score. Now the key results they want to let them know that they have actually achieved their goal or their objective of improved customer satisfaction. They want to see that there is reduced customer support response time to under 2 hours. So you have to report to us. Compare. Previously, what was the customer support response time? Was it 3 hours, 4 hours, and all of that? Okay. Then currently, what is it? Is it under 3 hours or 2 hours? So if it comes under 2 hours, then it means that they are improving customer satisfaction. Okay. Then they want to, another key results KR from this is that they want to increase the NPS by 10 points, 10 points. The net promoter score by 10 points. Okay. When that happens, then it means that they have achieved their objective, or they have realized their objective, they have achieved their goal of improved customer satisfaction. So when you hear somebody mention OKR, or they giving you a goal and the results, so you can report back on them whether you have achieved it, know that it is OKR. OKR, objectives and key performance. Hey, objectives. My mind is all KPI. Objectives and key results. Objectives and key results. Okay. Now we can move to the last part of the workshop, which is a metrics table, KPI table for various units. 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So 2, 2, 2. Okay. I know Anki Jacob is already in the finance. So finance and banking. So I'll do a breakout session. I think it would be nice if I type the groups. Let me do the grouping right now, please. So we are here. Okay, a minute. So finance. Okay, so if I put you in finance, please, you would please today permit me to call you Jacob. So Jacob, and let me see, who else can I put there. There's only one lady. Okay, Prince, finance, then marketing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Marketing. We'll put essential and Uncle Ima. And then supply chain / logistics. We'll put doc and who? Doc. Okay. Then HR. Oh wow, we'll put senior researcher there. Is this how it's spelled, Julius? Hey, Julius. Okay, please forgive me if I do not spell your name correctly. PowerPoint knows the name is wrong. There should be some O somewhere. Okay. Let me check the list again. Okay, Senior Kashmir is here. So and the Cashman. Which one is left? Sales. 1, 2, 3, 4. How I want it to be, and then how you can search online for this metrics. Okay. Alright, please, I'm waiting for you. Open a new Microsoft Word this is what the metrics table looks like. I've gone ahead to do what's called column mapping in the analytics pipeline. So when you start, before you start any data analytics project, the first thing is to understand the data and the metrics, whether it's a lead indicator, lag indicator, KRI, KPI. You have to get a metric table. The word is metric, not matrix. Metric table. Okay, so you come and give the heading. Okay, so metrics and KPI. Okay, so we just call it metrics table. Out of that, we get the KPI. So just type something as a heading at the top before you bring the table. Sometimes in Microsoft Word, when you don't type anything at the top before you bring a table, it's difficult to type on top of the table. So type metrics table as a heading there, and then come below, beneath the metrics table, about 2 carriage returns, 1, 2, and then go to the insert tab on the ribbon, insert table. For now, let's go for 3, 1, 2, 3. The name of the metric, okay, how many do you have? 4. Name of the number for the metric, name of the metric, the formula for the metric, and since you are building it now, explanation. Okay, so number, this one is just numbering the metrics, then the metric itself. So here is the name of the metric, name of the indicator, and then the next one is the variables or factors in the metric, and the next one is the formula. Of course, when you have the variable, when you have the formula, you can get the factors, but you need to understand first the individual factors or variables in the formula. Then, because you are building this up for yourself, your today's self and your future self, either you add explanation, so we can call this notes. So notes or explanation. This includes how decisions are made. So how decisions are made or on the metric. Okay. So everybody would have this. You will have your metric table constructed, blank one constructed like this. I'm going to shade the top one black, then select the first column, the rows under the number, under the NO, and click on the numbering so that it will be numbering automatically. Okay, so if yours is sales and marketing, the sales and marketing people, you do a lot. So you identify 30 metrics. For this one, you are searching it online, so it's research for sales, and then 30 for marketing. The ones that are doing HR, just 30. So 30 is enough. Okay, but for sales and marketing, you are doing double work. So you can share one, Vicentia and Ankarima. So one of you can do sales and the other can do marketing. So please, you decide. So this is the format I want you to take. Please, are we all here? Are we okay up to this stage? Okay, good. I thought I was speaking to myself. So you can even go ahead and do your 30 rows. You hit the enter key and then control Y to get up to 30. So I have 27 now. Okay, now I have 30. Okay. So if I'm doing for sales and marketing, maybe the first one, this will be sales metrics, 30 of them. Remember, the explanation is how they measure, how to calculate, how decision makers make decision on that. Okay. From this, how do you do the research to build these metrics? And when we do this well, from tomorrow we won't struggle. So when we have HR data and we're analyzing, we won't struggle. When we have finance data and we're analyzing, we won't struggle. We will not struggle at all. Okay, so yes, Senior Kashmir, please. Okay. Okay. Well noted, Senior Kashmir. Well noted. And okay, so what's the next thing to do to build this metrics table? Today AI has come, but this thing that I'm going to show you, whatever the AI gives you, please cross check it, interrogate it with normal Google from textbooks and all of that to ensure that what the AI is giving you is accurate. So you verify from normal Google, verify from textbooks, verify from domain specific platforms, from YouTube as well, what it gives you. But to a large extent, some of these things, the AI do not get them wrong. Okay, they do not get them wrong. Why? Okay. Okay. So let's kick the ball rolling. If you are here and you are anti-AI, please do not be anti-AI. You have to be friends with AI. So please, if you don't have ChatGTP account, you should have it now. And I believe that everybody here has a ChatGTP account. So please go to your ChatGTP. I'm looking for my own. Where are you? ChatGTP, GTP chats. Okay. So I'm opening my own shortly. Okay, so I guess everybody is set. So this is ChatGTP. So you give it a prompt. You give it a prompt, what we call prompt engineering, so that it acts as an expert in that domain. And I'm going to use marketing as the case study to demonstrate that. But I won't do the work. Let me see which one. Let me see the listing. The ones that don't have plenty. HR. Okay, is Bosso. Supply chain is Doc. Essential Anima. Okay. So I use marketing. So my prompt is act as a marketing expert or executive who is also an experienced marketing analyst. Bam. So I've given the AI a role. So now this AI knows all the marketing terminologies and all the, and also is acting as a marketing expert or professional or executive, and also acting as a marketing analyst. In fact, I can say marketing data or business analyst. Marketing data or business analyst. Okay. Then assist me in, if I will be doing other things related to this, I won't say assist me in creating a metrics table. So assist me in my analytics project. So I've made this one general. So I can always come here, go to this prompt and ask it marketing data analytics related questions, and it will be able to answer them. So I hit the enter key. Let me zoom so you could see well. So I hit the enter key. Then I'll move to my first specific question of specific role I want it to play or task I want it to do for me. Okay, fantastic. So it understands my question. If it did not understand, it will ask me to clarify. And one of the difficulties we have as a continent is our inability to ask specific question. Our questioning and reasoning lacks specificity. We are unable to okay, it's okay. You are unable to ask direct spot on questions, make direct spot on assertions. Most often our assertions are ambiguous and will warrant further questioning. Okay, so now he understands it. He knows you use Power BI, Excel, SQL, Python. That's fantastic. So the next thing is so construct a metrics and KPI table for marketing. I can decide to choose a particular industry for marketing units in a telecommunication industry. After this, I can do one for banking. Okay, so yes, I think that's it. So please, when you are done, when you pick telecommunication with your own the 30, do banking, do supply chain, manufacturing. Sorry, do manufacturing, do pharmacy. At least do 4 industries. Okay, so I've updated the task. So you do for the units and then for the sector or industry. Now I need to specify the columns or how I want the metrics table to be. Perhaps if I do like this, it might not know what a metrics table is. I might have my understanding of metrics table. The AI might not know. So I'll say that I need these to be the headings for the metrics and KPI table. Indicates which ones are metrics and which ones are KPIs. Provide in a tabular form. So sometimes it doesn't do it tabular. Tabular you can just copy and paste. Provide your answer. Provide your answer in a tabular form with the following headings. 1. Metric name. 2. Variables in the metric. 3. Formula for calculating the metric. 5. Is it 5 or 4? Explanation on the metric in terms of how decision makers use the metric. Okay, so let me copy this and paste it in the chat box. Please, I'm doing so. I'm pasting it in the chat. You can have access to that. I'll hit go. Did I say you should provide 30? I didn't indicate the number. Oh, I was going to indicate 30. Okay. So life is easy, right? uh, did I indicate 30 somewhere? I had 30 in mind. Did I know? Oh, okay. But he's doing a lot of job. So I think without even indicating the 30, that's given me quite a lot. Alright, so this is it. I'll copy this. I indicated it should be a table, so it has given to me in a tabular form, and I left one column out. Oh, so let me see. If not, you paste and then you paste it somewhere. Okay, so this is where you paste it before you copy. So I'll come here, Control V to paste, and that will be pasted as a table. Let me give this, and give it a way to track it. So I'll call this dummy, give it heading 1 style, so I can quickly navigate to that. Okay. Okay. So this is it. Is that's it is this is a table form. Why do I know that? When I click inside, I see table. Somebody's hand is up. Oh, Uncle Jacob, please. Mm, yeah. So I just, this one since a tabular form, so we do it like that. Thank you so much. So it's a tabular form already. So we are coming to format this. So the top one, two is there for interrogation. Each metric the AI gives you, you have to interrogate to see if that is how industry experts really measure it. Of course, I've been using this and I've not found much discrepancy with what the AI gives and what the industry experts give. So for this, you can't tell, but you can trust it to a large extent. But of course, you have to do your interrogation. Okay, to format the table, make sure you click inside. This is a pasted table. You have to use Control V so you get it in a tabular format. Then you click inside. You're supposed to see the table selector to the top left of your pasted table. Sometimes it's very challenging. It doesn't show. So you defer your table. You defer it. It came on and it's gone. Let me see. Uh, okay. If it's not coming, alright. Then you go to your table design and then just click inside, select one of them, go to table design on your ribbon. Table design ribbon, table styles, that's the second command group, and choose your table style of choice. I like this black and white because of our professor, the professor that trained us. I don't know why he loved this black and white. Okay, so you could as well bolding. Okay, I think it's already bolding. And of course, you need to number them. So you right click on the first column, insert column to left, and this becomes your number column. Your number column. So number, and then you highlight that entire number column and choose the numbering. Let me see how many gave me, 15 or 18 or 20. Okay, why is it taking too long? Hey, 4444, why? 222333. Everything okay? Okay. Oh, it's continuing numbering or what? So I need to expand the width. Okay. It's continuing from the first numbering, so I'll say restart at 1 and then move to the end. Okay, so I had 15, so it means I have to go back and then get 15 more. Okay, so this is it. This is for marketing. All right, please. It's 9:48. Let's use the next 15. You see how easy it is. So you do for telecommunication, you do for banking, then you do for manufacturing. So for telco, banking, and manufacturing, the sectors in the country that employ analysts a lot are this: banking, telco, and manufacturing. The manufacturing, the supply chain, the logistics, and all of that. So please, you need to have very good business understanding in these three key sectors, so that when you are done, you can be easily employed. Let me do the breakout sessions right now.